The vice presidential candidates meeting for their only debate tonight. There was plexiglass, extra social distancing, and some civility. There was no yelling or name-calling from the candidates, which is far different than the presidential debate we saw. Ken McLeod joins us now. And Ken, we also didn't see many direct answers to the questions.
Yeah, in fact, David, on the question of their aging running mates and what might happen if their health failed, neither Pence or Harris would touch it with a 10-foot pole. This debate was sort of a boomerang that kept coming back to COVID-19.
The American people have witnessed what is the greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country.
Despite that start, the debate was civil compared to their bosses. Democrat Harris quickly took aim on the Trump administration's response to the COVID pandemic, beginning with downplaying its threat.
They knew and they covered it up. The president said it was a hoax.
But I want the American people to know that from the very first day, President Donald Trump has put the health of America first.
Pence dodged questions about the recent COVID cluster at the White House, which triggered strict debate rules, including a partition between the debaters. That was not enough to protect Pence, though, from questions surrounding his boss's taxes.
And it'd be really good to know who the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, owes money to, because the American people have a right to know what is influencing the president's decisions.
But the vice president gave his boss high marks for bringing the economy back despite the pandemic and insisted Trump's push for a vaccine was unprecedented.
The reality is that we're going to have a vaccine, Senator, in record time, in unheard of time, in less than a year.
Pence, like the president, placed the blame squarely on China. And when questions turned to Trump's dealings with that nation, Harris unloaded.
The Trump administration's perspective and approach to China has resulted in the loss of American lives, American jobs.
Both candidates dodged questions as they wound their way through several topics, and the Republican jumped on a chance to paint his opponent as another tax and spend Democrat who leans to the radical left.
Newsweek magazine said that Kamala Harris was the most liberal member of the United States Senate in 2019.
A little humor was added when a fly landed on the vice president's head and sat there for a minute or so. Now the nation looks toward the next presidential debate, still set for a week from tomorrow in Miami. The president says he intends to be there, but his COVID recovery is casting a big uncertain shadow on that. Lisa?
And Ken, thank you.